Goku isn't the only Super Saiyan. There's another one right here.
What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mario Zilla, or you can call me Vinny, and today we will be taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Trunks, the boy from the future. Trunks was revealed along with his repainted father in a magazine and later put up for pre-order. Fans were absolutely hyped to get him, and could you blame them? This was a new version of the classic DBZ Trunks after being stuck with the 1.0 version for years. So finally we have an update. Awesome stuff, and MSRP clocks in at around $70. Not a bad price. Although, folks in the community have been bashing this figure for supposedly bad quality control. Yeah, it's not perfect, but nowhere near as bad as folks made it out to be, in my opinion. So please allow me to share my thoughts on why I think this figure is overhated. However, this will still be a review. Don't worry, I'm not that guy. Either way, let's see if Trunks is worthy of a spot on your shelf. Side note, when you get your Trunks, his lower body is going to be backwards. Not to worry, that's easy to fix. You just have to rotate the pieces and it's fine. You don't have to master calculus to fix that. Just needed to point that out because that is still an issue. Trunks looks wonderful. He is a really nice piece. The hair sculpt is phenomenal. Some of the best Super Saiyan hair I've seen anyway. And the shading in the middle of it is a great touch. Admittedly, I do have one issue, and that's the skin tone on his chest not 100% matching his neck and head. Not a big deal, but worth pointing out. Also, I know people will point it out, the back of the jacket. This looks this way to accommodate for the articulation. Could it have looked better? Sure, but it isn't dreadful. The colors on the figure pop in such a great way, vibrant and helps him stand out. And the sculpt work is a chef's kiss. Sleeve and pocket details on the jacket looks awesome. The Capsule Corp logo on his left shoulder is clean and great looking. Good way to describe the look of this figure, just clean looking, from the tiniest detail. The belt does have some messy work where the blue meets the orange, but it's a case where you can't notice it unless you're looking up close. Trunks does have some minor hiccups, but overall looks great.
So Trunks' articulation is really good. Like, I have a lot of fun posing him. I've been having a lot of fun posing these newer Dragon Ball figure arts. So let's see what he's sporting. He has a double ball peg in the head, and the neck is sporting a ball joint so he can look this high up, and he can look this far down, which is pretty good. Can lean, and can look side to side, no problem. The shoulders are on a ball joint. Now, the jacket is a loose piece, so no need to worry about the articulation being hindered. And he has a butterfly joint here, but, you know, you can't really see it. Just barely. Okay. Shoulders are on a hinge. He can hinge way more than 90 degrees, so that is excellent. Biceps can swivel. Double hinged elbows. He can go almost all the way. Ball hinged wrists. Pretty good. Now, there have been reports of the left bicep being loosey-goosey. Or more like it just comes off easily. And people have been saying it's like impossible to stay on. Not for me. It takes effort to pop this off. Now, don't get me wrong. This could very well just be on my unit or other people's units. Remember, figures vary between copy and copy. So, do keep in mind, mine is fine. Yours is probably not. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. You may not get as lucky as I. There's a ball joint here in the diaphragm. There's a ball joint and a hinge. And there's also a ball joint in the waist. So he can crunch forward just about this far, which is a good amount. And he can crunch backward this far, which is also a great amount. Can also rotate and lean. No issues. Legs can kick upward just about this far forward. Can kick backward, not very far because of the updated sculpts. can split all the way. Excellent. Thighs can swivel. Double hinge knees, which go almost all the way. And ankles are on swivel hinges, so he can hinge just about this far back, this far forward. And we also get decent ankle rocker, which is not perfect, but it does get the job done well enough for Trunks. And toes are on a hinge. They can go pretty much all the way, so happy with that. I have, just like with Ultimate Gohan from Dragon Ball Super Superhero, I also have a blast opposing Trunks. He is a joy. He really is a joy to pose. Like, I have a lot of fun with him, and if you get him, and if you don't have any issues with his left bicep popping off a lot, you'll also have a blast with him. I should also mention that people have reported Trunks' legs being, loosey-goosey as well. No. It's just the way that it was engineered. It doesn't mean that they're flopping all over the place. Think of it like certain Marvel Legends that were released back then. They used to have shaky legs like this, but that doesn't mean they were not stable at all and could not be posed. Maybe that's a bad comparison, but either way, the legs do not have any problems, at least as far as I know. So hopefully I'm not discounting anybody that legit does have a problem with the legs. If I do, I do apologize. So, yeah, Trunks' articulation is fun, and if you were hoping his articulation would be better than his previous 1.0 figure, which was released like 100 years ago, nothing to worry about. He is great.
Trunks comes with a good amount of stuff. Not Beam, sadly, but he does have everything he would need anyway, for his Super Saiyan parts anyway. Trunks does come with a base form head, and man, this looks just as good as the Super Saiyan head. I adore the sculpt on the hair, it just looks phenomenal, and Trunks' face is spot on. But he doesn't have any additional faceplates for this head. Perhaps they'll include more in future releases, but who knows if that'll even happen. Also, the base color of this head is yellow for some reason. Why? I wish I knew. Well, anyway, for the Super Saiyan head, he has two sets of bangs for his hair. One piece is hanging over his face and the other is spiking upward to make it look like he's moving quick or powering up or whatever. I'll show you what all the faceplates look like with both sets of bangs. You already saw the neutral stern faceplate, next is the same face but looking off to his right. Angry teeth-gritted face. And a yelling, screaming face. For hands, he has two fist hands, two clenched open hands, two more open hands, two chopping hands facing outward for shooting his beam, two gripping hands for holding the sword straight, and two more gripping hands for holding the sword at an angle. Here's his sword. Beautiful work done with this one. The choice of silver is excellent. It looks very pretty. The end piece of the handle pops off and you can slide any of the gripping hands through, and there you go. Trunks can be holding his sword. And, thanks to his articulation, he can hold the sword with both of his hands. Posing options are aplenty. We're not done yet though. We have his sheath for the sword. The whole sword can fit in the sheath. Also, the strap is this soft vinyl kind of plastic. They ditched the pegs they used for the previous figures, since those infamously have always found a way to break. This one is so much better. But I will admit, I fear for the longevity of this strap. Don't need a situation where this will tear at the peg over time, and I hope to God I'm incorrect. To put the sheath on is how I'm demonstrating in the video. Follow what I'm doing, and you'll be golden. I love his accessories and his base head, but like I said, I wish said base form head came with more faceplates. It's not a deal breaker, but something to keep in mind. Here's a size comparison with other figures you may or may not own. Trunks is a standard size Figuarts, coming in just as tall as Goku, so fitting him into the display should not be a problem. He'll stand alongside his friends just fine. This Trunks figure is absolutely overhated, and to me, the problems everyone points out is over-exaggerated. And again, I promise I'm not discounting anyone who genuinely has problems with the figure. You don't have to like it, and I respect your opinion otherwise. But calling this the worst figure in the line? There's figures that are way worse than this in the same line. To me, I love this figure and I think he's great. Dare I say it? One of my favorite figures released this year? Yes, I said that. Anyone who needs a Trunks should absolutely get this figure. As long as you're aware of what you're getting into and know how to fix the problem with the reverse torso, you'll love this figure. If you're a fan of this version of Trunks, you'll love him. Any fan of DBZ will love him. That being said, I'll give this figure an 8 out of 10.